Light OD bright, man. What's happening? I don't know if I could keep tolerating this light crazy. What's Goodington, my peoples? Yo, hold on. Throw the Bix on. Hold on. Let me throw my Bix on, man. Hold on, man. So yeah, it's Laz and Bic here. We're gonna discuss brutal stabbings and cuttings on Rikers Island. That's the topic here on the Laz and Bic show. Welcome. I'm changing my whole shit up, nigga. I'm trying to get my subscribers up, my nigga. I'm gonna start doing content like this. You heard? It was Laz and Bic. You heard? Ian Lig. You know that's one of my AKAs, Liggy. Saint Liggy, you heard? They gonna start calling me Ian Lig. Straight up. Nubian Emperor, which happened? See, I can see these messages now. You know, I'm getting old, baby. Roberto Cabrera, what's really good? Zero Assassin 92, Laz, what's your top 3 brands of clothing of the 90s? My top 3 brands of clothing of the 90s. I would have to say Guess, because I had many Guess jumpers, Guess jackets. You heard Acid Wash heavily. Guess, even though Guess was the 80s too. But it was the early 90s. You know, I got locked up in the 90s, so I was up top anyway. But that Guess definitely, that Low definitely. You heard that Guess, that Low, that Jabot. You know, it depends on the year, man. It was 9-2. It was all about that Hill figure and that Jabot, man. You heard if it was 9-1, it was about that Guess and that Low. You heard? In my life. A little mixture of all of it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I had a pair of cross colors. I had one pair of cross colors. You feel me? I don't think I ever had no Carl Kana. I'm not sure. No, I had a Carl Kana shirt. I had a red Carl Kana shirt. You know what I mean? I had it all, my nigga. Used, damaged, you heard, Pepe, Perry Ellis. I done wore it all, man. You heard my son had on a pair of jeans the other day. It was reminding me of some old Pepe jeans I had. I'm like, you looking like a young Laz from 1990. But I refused to throw away them big-ass baggy Pepe jeans I had. You heard? But that ain't last for long, baby. Now, I think they wasn't Pepe. They was Perry Ellis. You heard? It was a time when American Perry Ellis was a thing. Aeropostale, like back in the days, Aeropostale used to be a luxury type of brand. They turned it into like a, you know, what's that other brand called? American Eagle. They turned it into like another American Eagle type, Old Navy type of brand. But back in the days, Aeropostale was expensive as a motherfucker. They used to have a store in Kings Plaza back in the days of BK. That shit was expensive, Aeropostale, as well as Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger used to have completely different symbols. Like they used to have tanks and planes and helicopters and all type of U.S. Army. They whole theme was on like some U.S. Army shit. Like they had motherfucking tanks and planes and shit. Over the years, they just turned into a regular, name and symbol. They left the tanks and the planes and all of that shit alone. But they had all of that back in the days, Tommy Hilfiger, as well as Aeropostale. So I was rocking all that back. I was rocking all that back. Sergio Tex, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't grown, man, so, dudes was a little older that was wearing them Sergio Tex and all of that good shit. But I had Sergio Tex in the streets when I came home from the penitentiary. But overall, back in the days, I was too young for the whole sweatsuits type of vibe. You know what I mean? That's back in the days when niggas was wearing head suits, Lecoq sportifs and all of that. You feel me? You had to be a grown type of nigga to be wearing some of that shit, Grown 18, 19 type vibes. Niggas is rocking shit like that. Yep. But yeah, my genies. I only had one good Averex. I'm gonna keep it real. When the Averex thing was going down, I had a good boy. Averex is back in action now. I remember when they first came out. That was around the time when niggas was rocking Iceberg. You heard? That's when niggas was rocking Iceberg. Iceberg was a wild situation. Iceberg had grown ass gangsters and thugs wearing Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all of that. Like, you heard? Iceberg was different. That shit had niggas wearing all type of cartoons on their chest. You wasn't that nigga if you ain't had no Berg, man. That shit was a different time. You ain't had no Berg, you wasn't that nigga. You ain't had no Red Monkeys, none of that. You wasn't that nigga, my G's. You heard? Evisus done came back in style. That's fucked up. I threw my Evisus away. I'm like, these shits ain't never coming back in style. Tossed them shits. Now niggas is wearing they vintage, old throwback Evisus, and I don't got my shits like a clown. Yours? Same shit with True Religion. Come on, my nigga. I ain't even gonna lie. I thought it was over for True Religion. Them niggas made a comeback. You heard? I done threw away True Religion sweatsuits, True Religion hoodies, you feel me? Hats. Done tossed them shits in the garb. Now that shit done came back. Like, that's why you can't throw away nothing, bro. You just gotta put that shit in the closet, pack it up. Right now, that's my word. I got like 9 Nike Tech hoodies. I mean, not hoodies, suits, more than that. That I'm just packing them shits away in the closet, bro. I'm tired of them. You heard? Tired of Nike. But I know one day they gonna come back with a vengeance. So instead of throwing them shits away, putting them shits in storage, my nigga. Like, I'm talking about in my crib, I just throw them shits in a storage container. Throw them shits under the bed, something, like, you know what I mean? Get to them later on in life. Right now I'm on some new shit. Exclusive. Shout out to my bro Ferrari Shepherd. My bro from Chicago and Beverly Hills. You feel what I'm saying? We went to that Knicks game yesterday. It was very nice, very nice. My nigga Cat turned up, dropped that 30 nugget. You feel me? Good double. It was a good night in the city. Slurp. But yeah, my G's, man. I'm just tapping in, man. I'm chilling. I was supposed to go on Instagram Live. I might go on Instagram Live too, but I'll be scared to go on these other lives because they block you for anything. You heard? James Hart was pamping. Slim Blank gang in the building, early Snow Cone. Spanish Harlem was popping. Damn, I should have had my other slammer out here, man. Should have had my other slammer. Hold on for 1 second. Let me fix this. I got this on a little tripod. All black. These eating dicks, man. I can't see shit. This light clearing. Dude, it's fine. Now I gotta tell this little story, being that you said Spanish Harlem. I may have told this story. You may have heard me tell this story before, but it just needs to be told over and over because it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I need to tell it over and over. So boom, right? Like I told you, me and my whole team, we was in Dykeman, we was deep. We was trying to be vegetarians. Like all of us, we was trying to be on some vegetarian shit. I mean, strong G-O-D, knowledge of self type wildness. You heard? Just wasn't trying to eat no type of swine, nothing. I'm talking about niggas wasn't, when I say swine, I mean any meats or anything like that. Paws, fish, none of that. We was trying to just not have none of that. We was on our vegetarian shit heavy, right? So one of my mans that I was up north with, you heard, for the sake of the story, we'll just call him P, right? My nigga P, we was in Green together and all of that. So, you know, seen each other in the street, got up, what up, spabbing, right? Hold on, man. Let me see if I can get some background scenery in this. That's looking wild. So boom, right? The sun started coming. I had a studio in the lab. Now, my bro that I'm talking about, he from Spanish Harlem. He originally from Fort Greene, but he moved to Spanish Harlem, you know, at a young age, and, you know, he basically reps Spanish Harlem now. So he come around the team. I got a studio in the crib and stuff, and son start eating around the team. Like, we on our vegetarian shit. Like, we don't judge niggas, let niggas eat whatever they eat. But we used to order. We had a nice little Chinese restaurant in Dykeman. We heard that made some good broccoli and garlic sauce. We used to get this meal called broccoli and garlic sauce. It's on every Chinese restaurant menu for vegetarians who just want straight broccoli with delicious garlic sauce. They chop the carrots up in it, be spicy over the rice. Woo, it's serious. So we was eating that shit every day. Yo, son, order 2-3 orders of broccoli and garlic sauce. They just send you a whole bunch of broccoli, and that broccoli is healthy for you, especially if you smoke. That broccoli, you need that broccoli, cleans out your lungs. You feel what I'm saying? Broccoli does a lot. But we used to be eating that broccoli and garlic sauce. So my man start eating that shit, and I mean my son, he like, yo, son, I ain't gonna lie, this broccoli and garlic sauce shit is different. You know, he'll have some chicken wings with it or whatever, and he'd be like, yo, this fucking broccoli and garlic sauce is crap. I told you, my nigga, you think it's a game, think everything vegetarian is trash. Like, nah, bro, that broccoli and garlic sauce is serious. So this nigga, he takes the tradition back to Spanish Harlem. So now he tell me, yo, son, I be in the hood eating, I be in my hood eating that shit from the Chinese restaurant around my way. Broccoli and garlic sauce. I'm like, yo, word, that's what up, son. I wonder how they make it. Like, yo, I'm telling you, son, you gotta taste that shit from around my way, though. Spanish Harlem. First Ave. So I'm like, one day out, he like, yo, nah, son, you think the shit around your way is fire? You gotta taste the shit around my way, nigga. You heard? So one day, I go with son to his crib in Spanish Harlem, and when I'm leaving, he like, yo, you should try that broccoli and garlic sauce that I was telling you about. You heard? I'm like, where it's at? So he like, yo, it's on this block right here, boom, boom, the name of the shit is such and such and such, right across the street from such and such and such. So I'm like, I bet. So I goes over there. Now remember, this is Spanish Harlem. So I goes over there, I'm like, I don't see no Chinese restaurant around here. Word, I hit my man, yo, what's poppin', yo. I don't see no Chinese, like, yo, don't know, it look like a Spanish restaurant, but it's a Chinese restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. Why is the Chinese restaurant looking like a Spanish restaurant, my nigga? So I goes up in the spot. I'm like, what kind of Chinese restaurant is this, my nigga? You feel me? Like, it's like them niggas gutted out an old Spanish restaurant and turned it into a Chinese restaurant. I'm like, nah, my nigga, this ain't looking like a regular Chinese restaurant, my nigga. Where the bulletproof glass and the pictures of the food, they ain't have none of that. So I went up in there, I'm like, yo, this the Chinese restaurant? He's like, yeah, what's up? What you want to order? I was like, y'all make broccoli and garlic sauce? He like, yeah, we make broccoli and garlic sauce. So I was like, all right, man, let me get an order of broccoli and garlic sauce. Right? So he yells into the back, Spanish chick like this. All right. I'm like, y'all got Spanish chicks in the back making the food and all of that? Like I said, these dudes, this is Spanish Harlem, bro. These dudes, this Chinese restaurant, done got intertwined with the Spanish people in the neighborhood, just like motherfucking damn, where's that spot at again? I'll come back to it. But anyway, it's another spot where, it's a spot in Dykeman on Broadway. You heard, like, Chinese restaurant, Spanish people working it. They food is fucking delicious though. These dudes, he like, yeah, all right, give me 10 minutes, broccoli and garlic sauce. So they come out with the broccoli and garlic sauce in a regular container looking like a regular Chinese restaurant. I'm like, all right, bet. Now this my man, he like, yo, you found the spot? I'm like, yeah, I got it. He like, I'm telling you, nigga, try that shit, nigga. That broccoli and garlic sauce different, nigga. They do shit different in Spanish Harlem, son. That shit crazy, son. I'm like, all right, my nigga. So I'm walking down the street, you heard? I bust open the Chinese food. First thing I noticed was a funny yet familiar smell. I'm like, what's that smell? I know that smell. What's that smell? I'm like, all right, man. It's dark outside. It's nighttime. Walking, I'm eating my shit. I'm like, take a bite or two. I'm like, this shit ain't tasting like no broccoli and garlic sauce. What type of garlic sauce is this? Bro, word to my mother, my nigga. I take another bite of some broccoli. I dig deep in it. Let me dig deep into the sauce and the broccoli. I took another bite of that shit. Remember, we in Spanish Harlem. I took another bite of the broccoli and garlic sauce. I'm from the Chinese restaurant. I feel something crackle. Like, you know how you bite into something and then you can hear it inside your head, the crackle. Like, something just crackled. I'm like, hold on. Broccoli and garlic sauce don't supposed to crackle. My nigga, I took my phone light or whatever light I got my hands around and I looked into that shit and I'm like, why is this broccoli and garlic sauce orangey? I never seen no orangey. I ain't ordered orange chicken, nigga. I ordered broccoli and garlic sauce. It's my word, my nigga. I lift that shit up. I smell that shit. Taste that shit again. Grainy grains. I'm like, I looked down at that shit. I said, I know. Niggas ain't sprinkle no sazon over my broccoli and garlic sauce from the Chinese restaurant. I know niggas ain't do nothing like that. I smell that shit again. I'm like, nigga, this is sazon, nigga. This is the main seasoning that we use up north in everything. I said, my nigga, I smell it. I said, yo, I shine my light in that shit. I just see, you know how you ever seen uncooked sazon? How that shit just be in a powder form, lingering in some oil or water or something like that? I look close, I just see the motherfucking reservoir and stream of sazon powder floating through the garlic sauce. I said, yo, these niggas sprinkled raw sazon on my fucking Chinese food, nigga. What type of barbaric, inhumane, demonic, Luciferian practices is going on in Spanish Harlem, my nigga? I'm like, nigga, y'all Chinese motherfuckers done let these Puerto Rican niggas in this neighborhood get y'all pregnant. You heard? You know them Puerto Rican niggas be at them Chinese broads, my nigga. Just go to the Lower East Side. Half the population is half Chinese and half Puerto Rican. I said, y'all done let these Puerto Rican niggas in motherfucking Johnson Projects and Taft and all of that. Y'all done let them niggas come. Y'all done let them niggas come over here, lay meat to y'all, you know, influence y'all to open up a Chinese restaurant that's fusing with Puerto Rican coochie Frito food and all of that. Y'all bugging the fuck out, my nigga. This shit almost made me throw up, my nigga. Like, you can't put sazon in Chinese food. If it's one thing sazon just don't agree with, my nigga, it's Chinese food. These niggas had raw sprinkled sazon on my broccoli and garlic sauce, had my shit orange. I said, yo, these niggas, let me explain this insanity. Niggas like my man P, he really thinks this tastes good. You heard? Like, you know, I'm a black nigga, I'm black and Puerto Rican. But let me tell y'all black motherfuckers something. Y'all be too easily impressed with Spanish food that ain't properly made. Like, you know what I mean? Sprinkle a thing of sazon, they be like, yo, this shit banging, son. You heard? Like, nah, son, that's not how it's really supposed to taste. That's just some raw sazon sprinkle. But niggas taste any Spanish seasoning, niggas be thinking that shit is official. Nah, my man, I'm calling this nigga. I said, yo, son, what the fuck are you talking about, my nigga? He like, yo, what you talking about? I said, yo, nigga, what? I said, yo, them niggas put sazon on my broccoli and garlic sauce, son. He like, yo, that shit was banging, nigga. That shit be banging like that. I said, what? He said, nigga, what? Nah, he said, you hating. He like, you hating because it's Harlem, son. You on your Brooklyn shit, you just hating on Harlem, son. I'm like, nigga, what? He like, nigga, that shit crazy like that with the sazon on it. I'm like, oh shit, my son living in Spanish Harlem for too many years, my nigga. To whereas y'all done fused the cultures with everything, nigga. The pizza shop got motherfucking, you heard? Y'all niggas got Patele pizza, my nigga. Like, what the fuck is going on in Spanish Harlem, nigga? You heard? Go in the pizza shop, yo, let me get a slice. Niggas just got some red beans on your slice. Like, yo, what the fuck? You heard? Niggas throwing red beans and yellow rice on the pizza. Like, son, y'all niggas done took over the whole neighborhood, son. Like, the Spanish, that's why they call that shit Spanish Harlem. Everything got a little dab of Spanish in it, nigga. The Chinese restaurant, the pizza shop, everything got a Spanish influence in that motherfucker. And niggas who done lived in Spanish Harlem all their life, they don't even notice it. It's just normal to them. You heard? So I cursed my man out. I said, nigga, if you ever in your life recommend me some shit like that again, nigga. I said, nigga, that shit traumatized me for life. I ain't eat sazon for like 4 years after that, my nigga. If it had sazon in it, I'm Gucci. You feel me? Nigga gave me some hot-ass steaming broccoli from the Chinese restaurant with Chinese spices. And niggas thought that, you know, I would find it exotic or delicious if they would sprinkle some sazon on top of them. I'm done, my nigga. You heard? I'm done, my nigga. Like I said, man. Spanish niggas, Puerto Rican niggas, they done laid dick to the Chinese restaurant people. You heard? They done had babies with the Chinese restaurant chick who ain't speak no English. They done had 2 babies with the broad, you feel me? And now they got them working in the neighborhood, man. And it was a terrible story, man, but, you know, yeah, broccoli and garlic sauce with sazon in it. You can't make this shit up, you heard? Dead ass. But yeah, my genies, man, I'm just tapping in like the Tappan Zee Bridge. You heard? Tastes about the best. I was watching that episode of Twilight Zone earlier where the dude just wanted to do nothing but read. And that nigga just was finding ways to read wherever he went. Then that nigga, the nuclear bomb hit. I ain't gonna blow the whole episode up for dudes who never seen the episode. But it's an ill episode of the Twilight Zone. Facts. Derek Brown, that's a fact, my nigga. That episode was crazy. I tried to get my daughter to watch it. She don't want to watch the Twilight Zone because she said I traumatized her by making her watch that episode with the chick in the hospital that got the bandages on her face and the pig people, the pig looking people. My daughter says she would never watch that. Anytime she see anything that says the Twilight Zone on it, she's Gucci from that shit right there. You know that shit was crazy, nigga. You know that shit was crazy when that broad took off that motherfucking mask and she was beautiful and all of them motherfuckers was screaming at her like, oh, and them niggas had the big stupid pig snouts on. That shit was scary, nigga. You heard? She just woke up in another dimension where niggas just had big pig snout noses and that shit was normal. That shit was crazy. Twilight Zone had some episodes, my nigga. Talking Tina. Shit was crazy. You know what I mean? Fucking, yo, it's another episode. Oh my God. There's another episode with the boxer nigga, with the black boxer nigga and the little kid. And the nigga had the power to win the boxing fights. He was using some type of magic to win the boxing fights. And the little kid, ooh, I used that shit in a song before. The little kid was like, he was like, yo, listen, you know how acting sound back then. Them fucking clips, them audio clips from them Twilight Zone episodes is crazy, my nigga. I used a whole bunch of them for an album I did called the Christmas Shootleg. Like we did an album called The Shootleg and then we followed it up. Instead of bootleg, it was called The Shootleg, right? Shit was crazy. But we did a Christmas version of that shit with the $20 bill on the cover. That shit was nuts. But in a few of the songs, I used some Twilight Zone clips, and that nigga was like, "So you mean to tell me it was magic that got me up off of my back?" Like just the way the nigga be the shit they be spitting on them Twilight Zone episodes, the way they act, that acting style was so crazy that it just sound crazy on clips for songs as interludes, bro. You heard? I gotta dig that shit up, my nigga, but it's some heavy clips in that Twilight Zone episode, my nigga. Because the nigga kept winning fights, and he was winning fights off of the little kid doing magic for him. And he started getting cocky, thinking it was just him that was winning the fights. Then the kid started trying to tell him, yo, look, I'm using magic to help you win them shits. And he didn't want to believe that shit. It was crazy, my nigga. Crazy. Fact, my nigga. Bowley. That shit cool, yo. The sound bites in that episode, oh my God. That shit crazy. I'm telling you, my nigga. But nah, I don't be playing no games, son. Me and shout out to my nigga RG, man. My nigga RG was the king of catching movie samples and turning them shits to beats. Like he had his MPC hooked up to his DVD player. So he used to just be catching clips from movies crystal clear all day, turning them shits into the wildest beats ever. You feel what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, we got some shit, nigga. We got some shit. But yeah, them episodes, them Twilight Zone old episodes, them shits was dumb. Them shits was dumb. And some of them shits was dumb, scary too. One of my favorite episodes is that shit where them niggas is in the bar. I mean, they in the diner, and they looking for an alien that crashed landed in the motherfucking diner, and they like, somebody in this diner is an alien. You heard? That shit was crazy, nigga. Twilight Zone was a crazy show for back in those days, bro. To be able to create fear like that in such a you know, back in the days when they ain't have much, that shit was wild, my nigga. Facts. And another crazy episode of the Twilight Zone is that joint To Serve Man. That To Serve Man joint, that shit crazy. Niggas thought the aliens came to show love to humanity. Nah, my nigga. Hold on, my G's. I think he had said miracles. I think he was like, you mean to tell me it was a miracle that got me up off of my back? That shit was dumb. The lane looking like that shit about to crash into the moon. But yeah, my genies, man, I ain't trying to be hitting no trills and arm on kills and Amra, so I'm over here with it. This light is smirking me, my bro. I'm gonna have to turn this off. Heard? This light is slaying. This light's stupid bright. Honeymooners is my shit too, bro. Like, I stay watching the Honeymooners, my nigga. Heard? The nigga Jackie Gleason just too funny, my nigga. The nigga dumb funny. You heard? All of them fucking Honeymooners episodes is hilarious, bro. Straight up. When I was up top, we used to have a channel. I don't know which channel it was. It might have been AMC. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a channel that they used to just show nothing but old school movies like Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney type shit. Bruh, you have no idea. People have no idea what type of movies they was making in the 40s and the 50s, bro. Like, it was some shit like, bro, they got a movie. I forgot the name of this shit. Oh, this shit was crazy. Was it Dragons? Something I can't remember, man. But that shit was about the Puerto Ricans and the Italians back in the days in the town, Little Italy in Manhattan. How the Puerto Ricans started moving into Little Italy, and them niggas, the Puerto Rican gangs was fighting the Italian gangs. That shit was crazy. And it was this shit is based on a real true story too. It was the movie about this blind Puerto Rican kid that he got locked up for a body for killing one of the Italian dudes, and they was saying, yo, he blind, how he gonna kill, boom boom bing bong bing. And I can't remember the details because I ain't see the movie in a long time, but this shit was based on a real case that really happened back in the days in New York. You could look this shit up, where a blind Puerto Rican kid who came from Puerto Rico, you know, they kept getting it on with the Italian niggas, and he shot and killed one of the Italians or whatever, and they locked him up for it. He was on trial for it. A few of them, I think, was on trial for it. But it was crazy because it was mad racial tension between Puerto Ricans and Italians. They was getting it on. The gangs was getting it on. The neighborhood was getting caught up in it. And it just basically shows New York in the 40s and 50s and when it was crazy. You heard? Shit crazy, my nigga. That movie is crazy. I don't remember fucking the name of the exact movie, the name of the movie. I gotta look that shit up, man. I don't remember, but that shit was a great ass movie. Then it's another movie with James Cagney. I can't remember the name of this shit either, but this shit crazy. You heard? Where that nigga, I just remember one scene where them niggas was in the motherfucking they was gangsters, and they ran into some young kids that was on their gang shit trying to come up, and the young kid had a knife or whatever, and I think James Cagney or Humphrey Bogart, one of them was like, show me how you would come at me with that knife if you was to try to come at me with that knife. And the kid was like, I'll come at you like this. And he was like, never do that. Never come at somebody with a knife like this, because they can easily grab your arm and block that. You understand what I'm saying? And then you finished. If they got a knife, you finished. He was like, always come at a person with a knife straight like this. There's nothing they could do to block it. They're gonna be forced to move back. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, these niggas dropping Jews. You know, I was in the penitentiary at the time. They giving knife Jews. But that shit always stuck with me. He was like, never try to stab somebody like this. He said, always poke forward, so they have no choice but to get back. So you could back them up off you. If you don't even want to stab them, you could back them up off you. But they would not be able to attack you as long as you pushing that shit forward like that. You feel what I'm saying? But these movies was crazy, though. Them old James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart movies and all of that, them shits is filled with real different type of gangster Jews, my nigga. If you ain't never seen John Dillinger, the story of John Dillinger, what's that shit called? I'm talking about the old school black and white shit. That shit crazy, nigga. Dillinger, with the Dillinger gang, woo, that nigga, with that nigga Babyface, I think it was Babyface Nelson. All them niggas was on the run together. They got up and Babyface was murdering everything. And that nigga tried to challenge the nigga John Dillinger motherfucking try to challenge that nigga authority, and that nigga John Dillinger got in that nigga face. That nigga was like this, and the nigga Babyface Nelson had the fucking Tommy gun or whatever. That nigga was like, nigga was like, pull a trigger, shoot me. He said, you can't kill me, I'm Dillinger. That shit was crazy, nigga. That nigga said, you can't kill me, I'm Dillinger. And nigga Babyface Nelson just was like, I fucking like this guy, man. That shit was crazy, my nigga. You heard? They got into an argument because that nigga was like, John Dillinger was trying to devise a plan that was smart on how to get away from the police, because the police kept coming after them, the FBI. And that nigga, Babyface Nelson was like, if I'm saying son's name right, could have been a different Babyface. That nigga was like, I got another strategy. Hold on. That nigga Babyface Nelson was like, I got another strategy. I see them, I shoot them, I kill everybody. You heard? And John Dillinger was like, well, we ain't doing shit your way, we doing shit my way. And nigga Babyface Nelson was on some, yo, who the fuck made you the leader? Like, you heard? We all gangs, who the fuck made you the leader? That nigga got in that nigga grill. That nigga said, pull a fucking trigger, pull a trigger, shoot me. I want to see you shoot me. You can't shoot me. You can't kill me, I'm Dillinger. I was like, yo, this nigga right here different, my nigga. But that Dillinger movie was a deep-ass movie, my nigga, because son was a super duper gangster. He was a good nigga. Like, listen, that nigga was on some shit where niggas was sticking shit up like this. Ladies and gentlemen, being robbed by the Dillinger gang. We're professionals. The bank's money, this is not your money, this is the bank's money. Don't make a move, nobody's gonna get hurt. We don't want to hurt anybody. And that's how son was on it. He was trying to that nigga had mad robberies without shooting or killing nobody, until eventually some shit went down and niggas ended up killing some bank guards. But before that, he wasn't trying to harm, shoot, kill nobody. Nigga was just trying to get that money and get up out of there. You feel what I'm saying? So the nigga was a smooth ass nigga. You feel me? His downfall, abroad, my nigga. You heard? And there's an ill scene in that movie where that nigga was going to go see some chick, while them niggas is like, they super gangsters doing all type of shit. They on the run for all type of shit. And them niggas is like hiding out in a hideout somewhere, chilling. It's like 4 or 5 of them gangsters, like. And the nigga John Dillinger is like, yo, I'm gonna go see this broad. You feel what I'm saying? And his man, when the nigga left, his man was like, I don't got no respect for no man that does anything for a woman. You feel me? He was like, I don't got no respect for a man that does anything for a woman. And he said some other shit. He was like, that woman is gonna be the death of him. And sure enough, it was, my nigga. He trusted that chick. He went. It ain't that she even set the nigga up to, if I remember correctly, it's her mother that lined the nigga up and told him, you know, she was going to meet him or some shit like that. But still, his weakness of needing to see that chick You heard? Like, son needed to see that chick. It ended up getting him killed, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And that nigga, son could have just been like, yo, I'm out. You know them niggas is looking for you, my nigga. You know they after you. The whole country, they looking for you. You feel me? You can't go to no movie with no fucking broad, my nigga. And son did that shit. And that was the only stupid shit he ever did that really was dumb. And that shit cost him his motherfucking life. But that movie is crazy, my nigga. The story of John Dillinger, that shit nuts, my nigga. We used to be watching that shit on repeat, nigga. But yeah, my jeans, man, just tapping in, man. Kids was off from school today and all that good shit, man. So nigga got a little bit of rest or whatever. Went to that Knicks game yesterday, beautiful win. Even though, we was playing the Wizards. You can't sleep on no team, man. At least it's the NBA. Any team could turn up at any moment. They got that kid Keyshawn George on Washington on the Wizards, and son is nasty, man. You heard it. The sad thing is we drafted son. We drafted him first, and I can't remember if we owed that pick to the Wizards or we just traded him for somebody else or whatever, but we got rid of him on draft night, and now he's like they star player on the Wizards. He a rookie, but son be dropping. He dropped 34 the other night, I think. He dropped like 17, 18 on the Knicks the other night. Yesterday, matter of fact. Like son, I felt bad for him on draft night because he looked like Knicks material. You heard? They sent them over to the Wizards, but the Wizards, they squad, like the young niggas the Wizards got, it's not a game, bro. That kid Alex Saw, he's serious. He's gonna be serious, even though Cat was abusing him. That was fucked up how Cat was abusing him. Alex Saw, they got that kid, the African kid, I forgot some name, like Bubelli or something like that. He's serious. He's serious. He's gonna be a star, and that's a fact. This is his second year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's the second year or what, or third year or what, and I think it's the second season. You feel what I'm saying? But son, the nigga with the dreads, son is nasty, bro. So they got a rookie team. All they need is they need like one good veteran player that's nasty. You feel me? They need somebody like, let's just say, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, let's just say they ended up with somebody like a Julius Randle over there in Washington. Let's just say they ended up with Julius Randle. With them rookies that they got on that team, they'll do a lot more than what they doing right now. You feel what I'm saying? If they got one big, good, solid player, it'll get ugly, my nigga. It will get ugly. Yersh. But anyway, man, this chat shit is messing up. New chats ain't popping up. You heard? I'm gonna sign out on this shit, man, and I'm gonna holler at y'all dudes, man, tomorrow or something like that. Yersh. But get at me, man. LAZ, man. Hold on, where my other phone at? Chill my G's, man. Holler at me if I missed your message. I'll read that joint in the live replay and holler back at you.